Basically, this press conference is about the local government elections and the challenges we are facing as a party and all other opposition parties. We talk about the issue of buying of votes in Banjul and other areas, inducing and trying to buy candidates to withdraw from the elections, and also the rejection of our replacement for Nyanija, and other matters relating to this local government election. My name is 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏. I am the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. And to my right, we have Honorable Amadou Sane, who is the Treasurer of the party and executive member. We have our Deputy Party Leader here, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒔, and Almame, who is the spokesperson and also Admin Secretary for Human Rights, Legal and Human Rights. We also have Modou Sarr, who is our election expert from Banjul, Central Committee member. We have our MP of Fajikunda, Honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang. Yeah, Alaji also. Honorable Alaji. Yaya Menteng Sanyang. We have here Honorable 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒆𝒍, who is also our chairman candidate for 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒍 Council. We have Honorable Musa Baji of Talinding. So we welcome all of you. And yeah, we have an executive member over there, Honorable 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔. And I will ask our spokesman to give a short statement before we allow Modou Sarr to explain the issue that happened in Banjul. And I'm sure the same issues is happening all over the country, but it's the Banjul one that has been caught red-handed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sedi, the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. I will start my intervention with thanks and praises to Allah and to greet all of you in the holy month of Ramadan. We are in the last 10 days, and we hope that our worship, our prayers, our sadaqahs, and all the du'as will be translated into worthy deeds in the eyes of Allah. May it please Allah. I call on the Deputy Party Leader to also greet the gathering, because this is it's a first of its kind of a press conference. I'm sure all of you are wondering where the party leader, the Secretary General, is. He is right inside with us here, but as is his tradition, he says that the new generation of leaders of the UDP must be exposed, must be seen, must be heard to engage with the issues. And before going into all the things he has said, I will just allow the Deputy Party Leader, Haji Mariam Baboucarr Seka, to give a word of welcome, and then we can proceed with the press conference.
Before we proceed, can we say prayers in our different ways, please? Good afternoon to all of you. My role is very simple here, to welcome all of you here present on behalf of the party leader who is right in this office. As the spokesperson have just said, this is a press conference with a difference, not the usual press conference we used to have. The topic have already been told, and some of us will elaborate into those topics. The topics that is going to be discussed here is the topic of the day. We all know the problems about these local government elections. Buying cards, rejecting people, and so on. So the media houses, you are highly welcome. You are free to ask any questions of your choice. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Deputy Party Leader. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, it is often said that elections are won or lost a few days or a few weeks before the election day. Elections are never won or lost on election day itself. The UDP has been fighting elections for the last 25 years or so. And all our elections, we have tried to comply fully with all the laws of the land, with all the laws in respect of electioneering. What we have seen since 2016 is the continuous erosion of the rule of law where elections are concerned. But before that, I would like to remind all of you that tomorrow will mark 7 years when Solo Sandeng last saw the light of day. 7 years when Solo Sandeng's family last saw him. 7 years when he took out the banner at Westfield and said to Gambians, we have to fight for constitutional and electoral reforms. 7 years on, there has not been any significant electoral reforms. What we have seen is voter inducement and several voter malpractices, election malpractices. This coming local government elections on Saturday is 2 days away. So it's very important for all Gambians to note, one, that there are no foreign or international observers this time around. In 2021, the country was besieged with foreign correspondents, foreign development partners. To some extent, the last parliamentary elections, we had a similar number of observers. This time around is local government elections. It is localities, no matter how small, no matter how far away, people will elect their leaders. We have been on a campaign nationwide. Chairman Yankuba Dabo, our chairman, UDP's chairman, of course the elections are not until May, has been crisscrossing West Coast region. And West Coast region is one of the biggest and one of the most important electoral regions of the Gambia, because it has close to 40% of the votes total. And they are also neighbors with our brothers and sisters in the south of Senegal. So we are taking this opportunity to bring the leaders themselves to interact with the media, to establish, as a matter of fact, the things that are going on in the different localities. My elder brother, 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏, will talk about some of the developments in the Salum area. And Motsar, our doyen in terms of our relationship with the IEC, he sits in the Inter-Party Committee with Her Excellency, the Deputy Party Leader. and he is representing Banjul. What is going on in Banjul, I think we are all aware of it. And at this juncture, I would like to really pay tribute to Honorable Fatoumata Touma for her solidarity and for her citizen activism to ensure that no electoral malpractices happen in her constituency. We have also had her audios expressing solidarity with the 3 councillor candidates that are standing in Banjul South. That she is supporting them because one of them is a lady and they are standing under the banner of UDP. But we have always tried to make our politics a politics of performance. I think the whole of this country have seen the performance of UDP in local government. The former president of Senegal used to say this, "Gis wedi bokuchi." In Banjul, in KMC, in URR, in LRR, the work of our government, local government leaders is visible for everyone to see. And we would urge Gambians to judge all of them on their performance. And the aspiring candidates, we all know their history, we all know their pedigree, we all know their commitment to serving this country. We are in the politics of service to our nation, and we want to make sure that everything we do, as the party leader has always enjoined us, we do it under the rule of law. Whatever the laws of this country say, it is what we are all going to be bound by in the final analysis. So on this brief introductory note, I will now invite Alhaji Motsar to talk about the most burning issue in Banjul and what has been done from the point of view of the UDP and other interested Gambian citizens.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tal. Thank you very much, Mr. Tal, for that brief introduction. Executive members and members of the press, I greet you all with these blessed words, Assalamu alaikum. We all know why we are here today, because some of the speakers alluded to that this is going to be a special press conference. Yes, it's a special press conference. Taking my very self as an example, since the inception of the United Democratic Party, I think this is the first time for me to face the media publicly since the inception of the United Democratic Party on the 23rd of August 1996. So therefore, definitely saying that it's a special conference, yes, it's a special press conference. Without wasting much time, as I was coming from the IEC regional office in Kanifing, going towards Banjul, I had a call. Someone called me and informed me that, have you heard what is happening in Banjul? I said, no, I'm not even in Banjul. He said that, well, if you are not in Banjul, try to be in Banjul, drive directly to the police station, because there is something happening there. I said, but what is happening? The individual told me I have to conceal his name. The individual told me that voter buying by one gentleman, and he was caught by the National Assembly member for Banjul South. And in fact, it was within her constituency that happened. So on my arrival at the police station, I met some surrogates of the NPP, but I never gave heed to what they are saying or what they are doing. I went directly into the police station. That was the time I questioned the police officers who were there on duty, that as a main stakeholder of the political spectrum of this country, I would be very interested to know what transpired here. That was the time the police officer told me, well, it has already been taken care of. I say, how was it taken care of? Well, they feel reluctant to answer to my, well, I said, okay, tomorrow morning I will come back. Then the following morning, I went to the station and asked for the commissioner responsible of Banjul area, and I was told that she stepped out. I said, is the deputy here? They said, yes. That was the time that I went directly to the deputy and explained what I've just explained, and explained everything to the deputy as to what has transpired. The deputy told me, okay, wait. That was the time he called the station officer. When the station officer came in, he asked him whether he knew what transpired here yesterday in the evening. Well, he said yes. And what did you do about it? Well, he said that, I just told them that it's a civil matter. That was the time I cannot control my temperament. I told him, look, you cannot even distinguish what is civil and what is not civil. This is purely electoral fraud and inducement. Number one, the boy should not have been released. Two, he should have been accompanied with a police officer to search his house thoroughly, because we don't even know that the two voters cards that they explained that these are the two voters cards that he brought in. We don't even know. It could be more than two. That was the time the commissioner told him that, look, this is exactly what you should have done. But notwithstanding here, he is here on a purpose. And what is your purpose? I say, well, we'll take the matter to a higher height. But whatever the case may be, I want you to give me the diary reference number, which he did. The diary reference number is here with me right away. But the commissioner further told me that, well, as you know, we have a commissioner who is representing us at the IEC. We'll forward the matter to that commissioner. Then I will later get back to you. Since then, that was from day before yesterday to yesterday, they didn't get back to me. Today they didn't get to me. So what I am waiting for is tomorrow to go back to the police to try and find out how far they have gone with this case before going to the IEC, because the matter was reported to the police. So this is the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Again. And if you are interested to share with me the diary reference number as well as the voter's card, which were confiscated from these boys, because he did return the voter's card to the boys. So I am having a copy of the voter's card. Thank you.
You can send it to me. I'll share it with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Sedi will also explain some experiences that he has had on this regard. Thereafter, we will allow Honorable Yaya Menteng-Sanyang, and congratulations with Honorable Baji for your one-year anniversary as National Assembly members, but already household names. Like I was saying earlier, UDP's leadership in the elected offices are proving their mettle. They are showing Gambians what the politics of development is all about. Mr. Sedi will explain experiences not around the greater Banjul area, but a little further down our countryside.
Yes, thank you very much, Almami. Just to buttress what Mozart said, it seems like this is a tactics that the NPP is using throughout the country. 2 days ago, the governor of CRR and also the chief of Salum, Ali J. Toure, and the MP, and also the 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏, the deputy speaker. They went to Jimbala. Jimbala is in Salum, not far from Kaur. That's where our candidate, Modu Jallo, is from. They went there to induce him to withdraw his candidature, and he refused. And there are several examples like this throughout the country. So it seems like the NPP right now, their only means of winning this election or having some candidates is to induce people and go to candidates, offering them money for them to withdraw from the elections. We have seen PPP candidates who withdrew in URR, and some UDP also candidates withdrew in JAW, and all those were induced. In fact, one of them was even accompanied by 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏 to the Janjanbureh IEC office for the person to offer his letter of withdrawal. So these are the things that we will not accept, and we will take the necessary actions when the time comes to rectify this matter.
Can I just add something to what he's saying about with regards to? So, good afternoon to the members of the press, and then afternoon to the executive members we have on the high table here. Now, I just want to talk, just to buttress what they are saying. This voter buy-in thing of inducement that people are alleging, it's not only allegation now. Evidence has now been provided to the police, as Modsar narrated in the Banjul case. We're having similar, we're hearing a lot of these stories or narratives from people all across West Coast. It is happening there now. And the unfortunate thing is this, the police are not doing anything about it. And that is quite, I would say, serious, because they need to be seen actively doing something to deter people from being engaged in this, because this is fraud, period. It's a voter fraud. It goes to undermine the credibility of our electoral system completely. And unfortunately, the Independent Electoral Commission, who are supposed to take a lead in this, are also not taking serious action, and they're not, because we expect them to come with a press release, a stern warning, advising all parties to desist from such actions. But they are not doing that. And I want to just say a few words about the rejection of our candidate in Chairman. That is Musa Cham's nomination. We have to be clear about this.
That's the appeal that was sent to IEC.
Okay, so we have
already the decision has been made that the person is going on the course. So obviously they are not.
So they, exactly. So now we want the public, and both internationally, Gambians anywhere, and any international body that has interest in Gambia's democracy to understand what is happening in this country. For example, a candidate who by law under section 51 of the 51(4) of the Elections Act of 1996, it says if a candidate supported by a political party, this is I'm going to read it verbatimly so that people can benefit from it, understand it clearly. It says, where the candidate withdrawing his candidature
had registered his nomination under a political party, that political party may within 7 days from the date of the withdrawal field another candidate. Clearly, the law gives us discretion to field in a candidate 7 days from the date of the withdrawal of the candidate that is withdrawing. What this law is clearly saying is, it's trying to prevent a situation where one party, say for example the incumbent, is trying to abuse power by inducing candidates to withdraw or to induce opposition candidates to withdraw so that their candidates can go unopposed. We understand this. We realize that this is what is at play and decided to fill in a candidate in exercise of this section. Now, the rejection of the IEC, I will read it to you. They rejected the nomination of our candidate relying on section 52, and that is what they quoted in their letter. But what is the law saying under section 52 of the same act, that is the Election Act 1996? That law is very clear. It says, a returning officer, this is talking about publication of the particulars of a candidate. So this one is not even talking about rejection of nomination or anything of that sort. This is talking about publishing a candidate who is already nominated. So what you do at this instance is where the candidate is nominated, you publish the candidate's details for the public to become aware that that person is nominated. The IEC relied on that section to say that, because I think this is the phrase they didn't understand, but let me read what that section said so that for the benefit of everyone, so that we can all understand what the law is saying and why they were wrong to rely on that section to reject our candidate in this instance. It says, publication of particulars of candidates. A returning officer shall, as soon as may be practicable after the close of nominations, but at least 7 clear days before the date of election. That is the phrase I believe they misunderstood, and that's what they rely on. Because the next phrase, it went on, it says, or, because now it's given an alternative, where 7 days is there, or, and this instance is now saying, if the election is to be held over a period of days. And what we have in this case was that our candidate went there on Tuesday, election was going to be conducted within a matter of days, on Saturday. It says, if it's going to be, if election is to be held over a period of days before the first day of that period published, the law is now telling them publish the names and addresses of all candidates deemed to be nominated, names and addresses of all persons nominating candidates, and representative symbols approve of each candidate. So how can anybody reasonably justify that this section gives them authority or discretion to reject the right that a person or a candidate is exercising under Section 51? Now, we want every one of you, because this is the role of the media. It's not only political parties that need to be proactive in strengthening the democracy of this country. You people, as the media personnel, need to bring IEC to task. They need to explain this to the Gambian people. How can they justifiably, reasonably justify rejection of a political candidate, a candidate aspiring to stand for his people, giving his people a choice in a democratic process in this country? But the IEC is now acting with impunity, trying to behave like they are beyond reproach or beyond the confines of the laws of this land, because this is blatant disregard of the law. You cannot look at Section 51, and this is an institution that is being advised by well-respected lawyers in this country. What are those lawyers doing? The United Democratic Party is not letting this go like this. We're going to challenge this to the courts, but we want every Gambian to know what is at play here. The whole of our democratic gains that we have made from 2016 to now is all being eroded. We have seen a government, a sitting government, that wants to portray to the world that they are conducting free and fair elections. Where is the fairness in this? Where is the fairness when the state is using state apparatus? You know what they're doing in West Coast? For example, the other day they had a meeting in Faraba, Combo East. We have clear evidence. We even have video evidence of that, where they called the alcalos of the whole of that district, trying to, I wouldn't say induce, but I think they were trying to compel them, coerce them, force them into prevailing on their people to vote for MPP candidates. Where is the fairness? How can anybody regard such a system as fair? And this is a government that everybody struggles so hard in order to put in place so that we can have better democracy in this country. Our democracy can be strengthened. We can have progress. We can be represented by people that we ourselves, as the people of this country, chooses, and not imposed on us by the president or by the executive body of the government. So I want every Gambian to understand this. This is not just the battle of the political parties. It is the battle of every one of us as citizens of this country, especially the media. You've got to now drum this message out there so that it gets to every Gambian and anybody who is concerned about democracy in this country, because our democracy is now being discredited, it's been impugned, it's been tainted, it's been undermined by the very establishment that is supposed to be strengthening it, because they're the ones benefiting it more than anyone else. If anyone is benefiting from this democracy, it is Barrow and MPP, because they were the ones holding positions that which they acquired or gained through from a democratic process, they claim. None of us are, but we are playing our part, as Almami said. We are operating within the confines of the law, but they are not. And I want every voter, Gambian voters, to understand that your vote matters. Don't sell it to anybody. And if anyone approaches you as they done it in Banjul, go to the police. We have to keep pressure on the police. And everyone, I want the IGP to understand this. You either do the job that you've taken an oath or sworn to do, or you leave the job. But you cannot be the Inspector General of the police and you are allowing these things to carry on in this country. Tomorrow we will hold you responsible for it. I'm sending similar advice to the chairman of the IEC. You are there for a reason, and there is a reason why we call it Independent Electoral Commission. We didn't have Independent Electoral Commission before. It used to be conducted under the local government, and everybody was saying that that is not fair, because you have a state that people are opposing and that state is conducting elections. Now we are having independent. Where is the independency when the state is able to do everything that they want, but the opposition cannot do anything? I thank you all for that.
Can you just give it to Honorable Yaya Menteng?
Before you start, can you please just push this here? Yeah, this way, okay. Thank you very much. The moderator, Mr. Almami Fandintal. I thank the entire executive members who are here for UDP. I also thank the ladies and gentlemen of the press for coming. I will reinforce the same apology extended to you by Mr. Tombong. We are sorry to delay you. Some of you are here, I learned till 1 hour before the commencement. We are very sorry about that. It was circumstances beyond our control. Well, I don't think I'm going to say anything new that has not been said by the previous speakers. I just want to tell the IEC to at least be capable of shame. Because for me, if you ask me, this is so disturbing. But NPP know what they are doing. If you go on house to house, you realize that I've never seen an instance where Gambians galvanize themselves into such a powerful political force and hatred against a political entity like the NPP. So they know this very well. They have done their findings and they have done their analysis, and they know they are going to lose this election outright. We are going to give them a knockout blow. Now, the strategy they are using or employing in places, especially in the remote part of this country, is to induce, entice, and encourage people to vote for them by giving them incentives. And as earlier indicated by Mr. Dabo, this is the responsibility of the civil society organization and UD media. You see, UDP as a political organization will do their part. That's why we call for this press conference. And we are going to do this on and on and on and on. But the responsibility of the civil society organization and the responsibility of the media is to expose this. Expose this in the CV of all terms. Gambians need to know this. Talk to our brothers and sisters that they have to refuse with an attitude as far as NPP inducement approaches are concerned. Because we cannot, as earlier on said, we cannot play with the democratic gain we have achieved since 2016. And this is responsibility of everybody. So they have appealed to the media and the civil society organization not to leave this to the UDP as a political organization. This is the business of everybody as far as you live in this country. So therefore, the message should go outright. For me, in KMC, it is relatively low because we are very conscious of what is happening around us. Yesterday, I think I slept like 4 a.m. And today also, we are going to do the same thing. This is what we do during the National Assembly election. We make sure that we deploy people in every part of the constituency. So I will therefore appeal to other National Assembly members and other political actors for UDP in such constituencies. Today and tomorrow, one day after tomorrow, let's not sleep. Let's make sure we go after them. I'm not encouraging fight. I'm not just make sure we have evidences. UDP is a law-abiding political organization. We go to the courts and can get redress. But as of now, we should all be on extremely high alert. Thank you very much.
Maybe a word or two.
Okay. Just a quick one. Thank you very much. I acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Party Leader and the NEC members here present and the Fourth Estate. I am indeed alarmed and concerned as a citizen and as a representative of the people to hear what has been disclosed here with regards to electoral malpractice. And I believe every Gambian should be equally concerned and alarmed because electoral malpractice has many effects. And we elect people who are supposed to respond to the needs and aspirations of our people. What electoral malpractice can do, the effects it can do is to allow incompetent people to come and hold office. Because if we are buying votes, it means those that can serve us better, who do not have the means to buy a vote or who want to abide by the rules of the law will not buy votes. at the end of the day, the wrong people will be in our offices, and the democratic dividend will be betrayed. My message is not to repeat what others have said. My message is to Gambians. We must all condemn these electoral malpractices for our own sake and for the development of this country. The other side of it is it engenders corruption, because they are using funds to buy these votes. Where are they getting the funds from? From our taxes. My money, your money, everyone's money. They are using that to buy $500, $1,000 that cannot serve you more than one day. At the end, they bring people who cannot serve you better, who cannot give you any service, who don't have ideas. So for Gambians who want development, we should reject this. I know the election is just 2 days away, like Mr. 𝒂𝒊𝒏 has said. Any effects of legal recourse, the time is not there. But what we can do is the media, as the fourth estate, is anything to go by, is to educate citizens with regards to what is happening currently. And we expect anything that has been said here will be filtered down to the four corners of this country as soon as possible, so that Gambians know that we cannot be killing ourselves, because this is the best time we have to select good representation, to select people who can deliver, to select people who can render good services to our people. If we miss that opportunity, we are going to continue to be in abject poverty for the next 4 years. Now, Gambians have that opportunity now to select good leadership. We have that opportunity now to select people who are going to render good services. Let's not squander that opportunity for a mere fact of $500 or $1,000. And like the other speakers have said, we have seen in the newfound democracy trends that we are unimaginable if the newfound democracy is supposed to be a reality. And then they said dictators are not born, they are made. And we've seen the trajectory, the way it is going. If we are not careful, we are creating our own self another dictator. So Gambians should be very careful and mindful of some of these malpractices and ensure that our vote is our voice, is our right, is our power. We ensure we select the right people to have good representation. And like 𝒂𝒊𝒏 have said, UDP has set the pace. We've seen how the people we have given you across the country, how they have delivered in their local councils. Any person who wants to provide another option must come with good alternatives, good ideas for development, not to induce us to sell our votes and render ourselves into abject poverty again for another 4 years. This message must be must be spread to all Gambians to understand that the vote we sell is our life, and if you auction it, the poverty that comes after 20 years after now, you will be accountable for it. We are all responsible for what future we bequeath to our future generation. So it starts now. So I am alarmed and concerned, and I equally know every Gambian should be alarmed, because this is something that's going to undermine the development of this country, and we condemn it in the most strongest term. We condemn it in the most strongest term, and if the government thinks they are delivering, this is not the option. They should sell themselves in the best manner and abide by the rules and regulations like the UDP and other parties are doing. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sar has an additional clarification to make. Thereafter, we will have a brief summary in Mandinka and Wolof, and then we can have a Q&A on the upcoming elections.
Once again, good afternoon. What I only want to clarify is when I was making my statement, I never made mention the name of the individual who involved himself in this voter buying. His name is Antuman Ngom, and he's a member of the NPP Banjul South. Antuman Ngom, a member of NPP Banjul South. Yes, and he is in Jollof Town Hall. And again, I want to make this thing very clear. When I say this is my first time of facing the media since the inception of the United Democratic Party, that doesn't mean that, well, I have that fear to face you people or not. No. UDP is a party that you know, they have ethics. Not every individual or every member comes out to face the media. And again, with me, I am an administrator. So this is why, when I say this is my first time of facing the media, doesn't mean that I have that fear in me. No. Who knows me knows that I'm somebody whom you know. I am dangerous, very dangerous. I am dangerous more than danger itself. And with the UDP, I am as constant also as the Northern Star. So take that from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I think you have heard sufficiently from our side. We did this deliberately so that we can give you an apparative of the kind of leadership that has been nurtured within the UDP. Often you would see me and the party leader making these press conferences. It's because of the structure of the party, but you can hear from their articulation, you can hear from their sense of purpose, you can hear from their own sense of respect, not only for Gambian citizens, but for civil society, for our political opponents. Because what we try to do is to focus on the issues. Honorable Baji spoke about it. The ideas for transforming this country, we are proud to say UDP has been contributing them, whether it's in the jurisprudence, where all these issues, when they come to a conclusion, will end up. You saw last elections, the 2021 presidential elections, we put up a petition. We had our colleague Mama Kande repeating it, that the petition was not heard. But we don't want to act post facto. After the event or after the fact, we start acting. We are giving notice to Gambians that now is the time to engage in progressive politics that can actually change the lives of Gambians. Gambians are tired of these games and shenanigans that political parties and political leaders have been playing. So before I end this, our side of the presentation, I have a very brief quote from lawyer 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 that I want to share with you. He made this statement around the Easter time. And it reads thus: the struggle to make a better life for our people is not about us. It's about the next generation. I implore us to always practice honesty, integrity, and consistency in word and action. We must say what we mean and mean what we say. That is how we can legitimately expect the same values from them. Let's stand for what is right, for the betterment of the future generations. Thank you very much. Mbolo mi lima doon wax rek ci olof ci anglais ma bëgg ko tënk ci lu gàtt rek ci olof ak li fi gaay yëpp wax mooy ne tey dañ ñëw pour waxa askan wi won leen ne leen election local government election samedi la suñ councilor si dinañ leen taana waaye gis nañ ci jamono ji ci des nii ay tixa yoo xam ne daal jaaxal na Gambien si ñun dégg nañ honorable Fatoumata Njie Tuma sa Banjul South ne gis na loo xam ne njublang la gis na loo xam ne àndut ak loi élection yi Gambia ba tax na dem na ci police yi ñu ngi ko see ndokkale di ko jaajëfal ndax doomi réew bu baax soo gisee loo xam ne àndut ak luwaay réew mi war nga see mun a jóg taxaw wax ci sa soxla ñaareel bi honorable Tombong wax na ne gàllum bi deputy speaker bi ak benn alkalo ak gouverneur bi dem nañ ci kër ne suñ candidat ak chef bi dem nañ ci kër ñu ne suñ candidat bi fa taxaw dafa war a bàyyi bu mu taxaw moom candidat bi nag bañ na mu ne moom dafa taxaw ci local government election bi so gis nañ ay njublang yu bari yuy dox benn bi suñ benn candidat bi tamit si Chairman dafa withdraw loi bi joxoon nañu nag doole pour ñu delloo fa beneen candidat waaye ñu dem ci IEC suñ parti bi bind nañ pétition appel nañ pour ñu jox ñu kuñ am nañ kuñ fa mun a delloo waaye IEC fu mu nekk ñu ne foofu constituency bi is no oppose ward bi is no oppose so yii yëpp dañ bëggoon rek pour ñu wax ko taskati xibaar yi ñu xamee ko ne UDP saa yu nekk lim na wax mooy ne luwaa réew mi ñun ñëpp la saama luwaa réew mi lañ war di doxalee suñ politique bi ba tax na duñ dee yu bari duñ ko dee nangoo def ba nga xam ne jëf ji xew na ba pare suñ demee ci attekaay bi ñaareel ñu am fa loo xam ne duñu dee doy daal so looloo tax tey ñu ne suñ press conference bi dinañ isi suñ ñi nga xam ne ñoom la askan bi taana ku mel ni honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang ku mel ni honorable Badji ak suñ candidate bi taxaw pour chairmanship bi ci mai incha allah Yankuba Dabo pour ñoom it ñu ñëw wax rek naka lañ gisee affaire gi ak politique bi fan la toolu lii moo taxoon ñu ne ñu def press conference bi tey Alaaji Ousseynou Dabo mu ngi ci biir waaye dafa bugg a wone ndawi UDP seen taxawaay ak seen liggéey ngir bugg a seen réew dem ci kanam bugg a tamit nit ñi xam leen xàmmee leen déggal li ñoo wax ndax li ñoo wax yëpp dafa ànd ak maanaa looloo tax deputy party leader moo ko fi toogal Modou Sarr tamit ñëw na jógee Banjul wax ñu li fa xew so ci gàttal rek lii moo taxoon ñu oote taskati xibaar yi di leen ñaan pour liñ fee wax yëpp li ànd ak yoon ñu tasaare ko won ko Gambien si samedi la élection bi ñu ngi ñaan Gambien si ne lii gox-goxaan yu ndaw yi nekk ci Gambie yëpp élection si dina fa xew soo leen taanee ñi nga xam ne mun nañ leen a liggéeyal ndax ñun suñ ndaw yi won nañ lan lañ mun a def baax na rek suñoo taana njiit honorable Badji wax na ko nga taana koo xam ne dina la liggéeyal ndax liggéey rek mooy yóbbu réew ci kanam dinaa jox suma xarit Yaya Menteng mu tënk ko ci kàllaama soose liñ fi jot a waxtaan honorable Sanyang
nga konton frede ay to na konton la nga na deputy party leader nga konton bake yalla fonni ngalo na la yamna yu ali energy soto nyulte algal fonne ne nyulle energy le shera to la energy bidu malang almame malon tani Yankuba Dabo membe kala very best mandinka speaker bare mbenna kata ko ke bala ko almame ya fo nyamen ngani press conference kumandile ka itandi Gambia nol la anin Gambia nol silalu anin Gambia carte faylalu NPP nyim pati sonjawo nyim pati kurungo nyim pati yo me alonko Gambia la nyatota imantara woto bari tolbe ifang nyaton tanle nyami be wolto biri ya discover ko Gambia nol ye kodi lale Gambia nol metol la interest soto kotake ya je ko ni local government election men kana dunga ko council mayor be butela je butero me ko abe jawyala sai sita koy ka nyame do ko be menekele gambeno la sai bari biri foire ya nak diw mol kan ikoko wala ngata nga kodo dila nga kodo dila dron be la carte wol sotole honorable Tumanjay nata ke moti mais alon ko a vigilante ala constituency kan fo anata nyi mol muta be carte sangol je ay samba police bidum comme men police la tilimbalia UDP la police la tilimbalia Gambia la e manna action taje e ko dron wolio remove wolio murndi mari wol kan bidin nyin tar police la nyanta men kala dron ya mari muta ya detain ya body confine ina beta fo ala bunkono ye bon je ko ndol malon ay carte sabador ne bondi bor carte jelle be bulu anon the extent of the scheme fo atendro ne ba kam fani modole ba kan police nyanta investigation no yella yalon nyen ke mina kamma jumala ya bulala mo jelle ba kan atabe ben kan ani yem mo jelle voters card ta police nyanta nyine establish la yo fo Gambian carte falial bar Gambian police mbe ya marla anu mbe wonna ko ntol tenne energy ni na fero ni na pati la stock to du na ku kono e to ka fa be tulun na wala ntol to accept la moy atol ntol de mu ñu banko dingol leti ay police mo Gambe dingol leti so sa hakil tu bake ni nga kudi la me yalon ko nyenda ya investigate e ka investigate for UDP ka investigate for Gambia bele kew so police o sa hakil tu wodo al Gambia no franco diam la ya foje nyame atol news atol kibaru janjan lalu ani civil society organisation men kam mo la nyantol kele anyemu ntole be la kele ni ndake no la UDP la keloti as political organization Gambia no be la nyanti fangila nyi kelo kon honorable baji ya foja kuma kende balfo carte sunya carte sango alla balu akawlo retard alla balu nyim alla balu nyanyimma abe retard la in the future so mu kule de wadi na ko mobile nyanta tal against that atol national assembly member political organization or civil society organization kibar janjan nalu be nga kata ngata ni Gambe no ko NPP parti kuru ngadi leti mais alon ko imang interest al development na bari tol be fan develop la nyame bari ya jelo ko Gambe no buga e Gambians are not excited again when we mention NPP ni dum dem bon ko ni NPP mention nobody is excited. Nobody want to know NPP and they know that Nimbe reflect all election on Yinkon. That is why they have released millions. They have a candidate who there is really 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 each candidate la. O tilimbalaya fonjibe. But nga from mola nka nasila. Ntola National Assembly election ye 500,000 candidate or lele. Ntola party less than 20,000. But we still won. We still won. Anong mbadingol membe provinces. Klu wala hakilo la nal sondo molo e kera nyen ku kunta woni la nyen ko do melo ko man soto senya ko e ka sambe e ka dia tolla ndol mo be jambe bro province ala nga ndam mol call nkan na nyato sang o mun tol bele responsibility inshallah ko nga fa nyame mbadi honorable dabola atele am so he say better man speaker than I am then I fall say afo
Mbadi mulu lambe lalu aning man de kam moy lalu lafta min kafula honorable yaya min adje ko min nyimu somari de min fota jang ka foni man de kawla ko mi ya fo nyamin election lo be kere and election do ngata kumata bake bayri me molle tambinde kam min yalon ko wolle nyanta marla na fankola nin na nyato ta so molu wokumata bakel bari luwaye min saratinde wala ñing election o nyanta tamala nin tilingol la momo ila hakumu min diyadila bari nga minje mimbe kerin wala ñun ko president Barrow anala MPP ibe min tamande nga wala ñun dolle be sembola sembo ben dolle be bulu min diyata ñembe wala kela and independent electoral commission mi yalungo Aliou Mamadou Ndiaye la nyaton kaya loi e sembo di tolle la pour tol wo tilingo patiol tema
ye wotilingo tamande nge jele tol fana mampare ka wotilingo nyin tamande lafta mim fo la gambiano le ko min mim fo ja wala nyunti ko ñi manke opposition party kelen na keloti amanke mo kelen na keloti mbele la kelo mu nyinti andung kelo nyin ka keno nyamin aliou momoro njay amam bonang malay konteng alama jendinan IGP of police malay konteng alama jendinan alla molemu alla badingo lemu sama sinin ning molba konte bola abatol le affect la ning kudo ke tatol le beta borla le tanina wo namnal fala je wala nyintu ko nin telefono be na tema kumande ya fay moro tilingo tamande inin ala tema sama ni fata molle be tarani banko kam minu be shede ala wolle bina le afoko nyinyon ke ba jankere mo man siya na election o keta janna sunyam bulu den kilol be la kan about him so ni badim mate ni wo be dimela sama woto wuli biye tonya wulen fo aliou mamadou ndiaye ya fay ko telingo tamande banko kan the same thing with the IGP of police bayri nyin ko bebe tamakan police la nyaton ko la nim police lo la wonyanta sénégal police man jina santo imanke malaikati ala me bonni nan blado de al badingol leti bota kordal le kono ikata do ko le ka seynan kordal le kono ye kalole ke ala inin ala teme ko be tilingol kala yomal kiyama na le jetala jahannama ta dialali al diamu ye saying aliya foe ko do ko ke jo salary minna manjarala al tilingo tamande al tonya tamande ngajele min keta modol badingol la jang kabiri nata TRRC be la kuol fole kuriyal min ke molla nyim banko ka akuyate badingo dole wonamne falaje mo be la kelolemu alla kelolemu beya dati kadiyamu al badingo le min yalam police lem ali afoye tonya tamande ni badingo ka be IEC a 5 vote of ni mole kartew min fay aya make so wol kartew e konti ay tilimbalia bula tajinte ya be wala anu nite ma dati ite ma fay ibamu la molla bi kon tol ten dey la ko la mba folale andum mengo memben tol la patriote opposition tol ba folale anda be continuer la Sidi Njay Demba Sabali aninyi moli kaminu to fo Anthony Gom minu bebe banyun Antuman Gom minu be banyun i manke malaikati alame jindinan blato al badungol leti allamol leti ibe minna anin silo manta ibe minne be tilimbali yalla be minne be tajinte yalla mol la nyanto e bolo tinya kan al tali diamuye andal se diamu no yele lungo lung al diamuye sang nalman diamuye sang asama toku ya wotal karla de iko manden gol ko bunna jani laran na jani abaka dabakara al kungo kannem annung mol ye minke mol la wolte o bayla ka o sat wole ketanung previous government bini mol diam dabuka diamo dole bari nyantalo na wala ketanung annunga kete tolbe jang iman sonna diamle badingol ye ya faye stilo tamanda nyanta tamala nyami al kelle muyti al dingol le muyti al barndingol le muyti al barnde muyti al falle muyti al mamagnol leti al tonya wulo faye jang nal man la fi mole tonya faye banta mente dialali andung wonyanta kala la keloleti wonyanta kala mobe la keloleti ngawlo fo journalist le election o kumata banko la nyaado da kumata kaf molu lafta minna alwo bula e tambi nakaro man beta ku kono aka ni akela te diale imanya na sonne ka ka modole ka foko because UDP film waranye si karle waranye mo karle wole atina itete fem vola noje no nakaro yaje dawda kumo bay alkal mu muslimo le dalbet sunkanne sunkaro kono alla molbe kol keka al wuli mbenga nyi kelo damuta opposition on tonga datele se minno mbole keka wolum nyinde mimbe keri nga futandalla journalist wol ya futandalla ni futatalla sang atol mi mu badingol da atol mi mu ini be sukilingal ni be al kukenyol moyte ala data le tonya foye ni ma danko alal atonde le singo kundal ni tema biko mo kurngol leti mo jenkerengol le moyti ande manke til mo tilendolti ndum ibe na hakole domokan no ni fata almamo jam min salte koma iko ibe kuma bedo vole ibe faniale fola wodal nga katanga kuma sobe fo nyimoli ya moy almamo ya foila mimbaroto banko be we all have to be advocates mo be le nyanta kala civic advocates de nen ko nyim banko la démocratie ta nyaato no nimman démocratie soto yalo ne falingo ka nyami wolen kelot nunga fole kelo man betea ama mo samba nyato mi mol samba wolen democracy ba democracy katanin tilingo lo koto abaka keno jenko koto wotal nga tilingo tamandi bar wo tilingo nying mo be la hakolo bije mo be la hako tamandi wo tilingo nying koto. Okay.
I have just observed that the president have given 300,000 to each candidate, and the candidates nominated are 99 candidates. If we multiply 300,000 by 98 candidates, the total amount is going to be $29,700,000. That's too much. That's too much. $29,700,000. That's too much. 700,000. I repeat, $29 million. 700,000. Where are we heading to? Where? Where are we heading to? Where are we heading to? Where are we heading to as Gambians? It's very sad. Very sad.
Thank you very much, Deputy Party Leader. Thank you very much, my colleagues in the executive and honorables Sanyang and Baji. I see Mr. Baji has other business and has to go. But now it is over to you, ladies and gentlemen in the press. You can ask your question in any of our languages. You can, of course, ask in English as well. Thank you very much. I recognize the young lady. Please identify yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon. I am 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 from Gambian Talents, Gambian Talents. Honorable, after all your allegation and evidence that you guys provided to the media, have you officially reported this matter to the IEC? Because we are all well aware that as part of the IEC principle and the rule of the law, this is totally illegal and unaccepted. And if such a matter happens, that party that is involved need to take a disciplinary action towards the party. And a follow-up to that is, do UDP have hope in our IEC system right now?
Mr. will answer specific IEC questions, but I think your question deserves at least two responses. The management and regulation of elections is entirely the mandate of the IEC. However, the law enforcement of the Gambia is the responsibility of the IGP. When two civilians have a disagreement or they have issues, their first port of call obviously is the IGP's office. The IGP also has under its authority commissions. I understand there is a commissioner attached to the IEC to make sure that we don't have unnecessary tension or violent disagreements. So just to clarify that regulation and management of elections is the responsibility of the IEC. But today we have seen a headline that is very worrying. The chairman of the IEC, who is in his 80s, talking to the media, saying that he made a mistake about the time his contract of employment is going to expire. Now, we have been saying this since 2020, that the transparent working of the IEC as an institution is something that all Gambians have a vested interest in. We have questioned the validity of the voter roll. We went to court for all of these things. I'm saying this today to make it absolutely clear that for the rule of law to prevail in all our dealings, the laws themselves must be just and equitable. People must be able to confirm that, yes, this is the term of employment of the chairman of the IEC. And the Constitution is very clear is unequivocal about that. And I don't think any Gambian is in denial of the fact that the 2016 election was conducted under the chairmanship of the IEC of Mr. Alaji Momad Njai. So if at all his mandate was renewed in 2017, it was going to be for the last time. And 2017 to date is 7 years, which is all in the Constitution. So really, at the end of the day, the rule of law should mean something for all Gambians. But I just want the media, particularly, we have been exhorting you to do your own findings, to determine for yourself what the laws are, because we don't want you to have this partisan taint. My learned friend, Honorable Sanyang, and my learned friend, Yankuba Dabo, we are all familiar with the language of law. It's very clear, it's very straightforward. But when other things are involved, people start becoming constitutional interpreters, and you will have long analysis. But we are very encouraged by the input of a lot of civil society, because I can name Pasamba Jau, coach, coming yesterday on Coffee Time with Peter to explain his own take on this issue. So the more we can be enlightened about the responsibilities and the mandates of all our institutions, the better it is for Gambians. Because these institutions are created to actually solve the problems that emerge. Hopefully, the next local government election will coincide with parliamentary election in 2027. Because our local government leaders went to court to insist that the laws of this country are applied. So this is just to explain that when you have a government that respects the rule of law will prevail in every aspect of our lives. But specifically on this IEC issue, our delegate to the IEC, our permanent representative to the IEC, is Alaji Motsar, and he may want to respond specifically to that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pa, and thank you very much, Lily. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll come directly to your question. First and foremost, this matter was reported to the police. This is why, when I stepped in, I went directly to the police. From the police, I went to the IEC regional office, because this is local government elections. Whenever there is any incident or occurrence of such a nature, well, you report the matter verbally first and foremost to the regional office. This I did. But notwithstanding, we are still waiting for the report of the police or the development that the police took as far as this matter is concerned. After hearing from the police, whether it's going to be positive or negative, is there and then where we'll take it up with the regional office of the IEC officially to further it to the election house. That is the main regional office of the IEC. Thank you very much. Pardon?
Has this been reported to the IEC?
Yeah, this is what I told you. I say it's been reported to the regional office.
The follow-up question to that is, as a UDP party, do you still have hope with our current IEC system?
Well, confidence. Yes. Confidence, definitely with me. With the current issues, prevailing now, definitely we have no confidence with the IEC. We have no confidence. With the current issues going on, definitely, we have no confidence in the IEC to conducting these elections. Thank you.
Yes, madam.
Name and from which media?
Regarding the voter buy, UDP as a party, what are the plans in place to avoid such happening in other regions of the country? And I have another question in the local language. That is the matter. Mr. Dabo, ya follow NPP, la moye alcalo coffee male, near down so que diamu le truque le monta ni ne prie na Africa party NPP. It is not like man put up for place of the floor as the chairman of the council, but you want me along to have most of the work to work at it. Say, I told you you structure the land. Well, I didn't plan that if I make so. We put me on the tail.
Okay, �𝒂𝒃𝒃. When you in Carola. Am I answering the Mandinka specific? Then I'll pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 𝒘𝒂𝒃𝒃. When you in Carola. Alkaloli yalong 2016. Baro fon kumbota jana ko alkalolu ning sefoli e dabon de politico ande nyande dabon la politico so ni tol fon stay ka governor use anen sefolu anen local government minister ka alkalolu kumande bigo e nyimmi don ka farabale ya alkalo ya ka oldo bakar sanya na korda so ka alkalolu minu bebe o tunno to gombo is kane fenanje womu kulete mi Lonko, nga baile, and number two, nga minke, the first thing we did, nga report to the IEC. But IEC la West Coast mano nying minna number be candidate ulbulu, the council onyumbulu, kabri akumandi, akufo we have any evidence of it. So namol tata around, they took video, and then they took pictures. Kabri ye wolje wolbe picture nim video ta kandrong. Minister ning aning governor ngamre mitong close wolto enem boro tata ning minister ning fenko tata ning commercial lo fale commercial lo ta local government minister abasanya honorable abasanya ne bija ning governor Ousmane Bojay tolle benum mitong nyendo so it told tata ning commercial lo fale man nani nyaata sulo la we don't know for whatever reason but it tata ning commercial la nung IEC we must commend them on that occasion because in Adaminke, ila mul nata nale, they send a team. Minu nata na kana jibe fo nyunu bebe but jani toluka arrive where tara nyunu tata and we gave them our evidence and the mim for wolum nyundugo it all they did their own fact finding jani kafuta and then they've confirmed that that meeting actually took place there on that day. So just what I was saying in English, what I was saying in Mandinka, I just want to translate it into English for the benefit of those that are not able to speak Mandinka. So the question was, what steps had UDP taken or what step could we have taken or would we take if such an situation happened? So we're talking about an issue here that which happened at Faraba where the governor, the governor of West Coast, Ousmane Bojang, together with the Minister of Local Governments and Lands, Honorable Abasanyang, convened a meeting at the residence of the Kombois district chief, Sefo Bakar Sanyang's compound, in the Kombois region of West Coast, where they convened a meeting of all the alcalos in the region. And at that meeting, they were more or less compelling the alcalos, forcing them literally, trying to force them in order for those alcalos to prevail on their citizens of their villages, of their various villages, to vote for MPP nominated candidates. That is unfair, one, because the alcalos and the sefos are not supposed to be partisan. This is something which President Barrow himself complained about during the 2016 elections. He reiterated it, I believe, in 2017 when we were doing the Meet the People's tour. He says alcalos and the sefos need to abstain or eschew themselves from politics because they are supposed to be neutral. Now, if he himself or his minister is now leading such, encouraging such, that is a concern that which, first, we need to expose. Second, every Gambian needs to be upset about it, and we all need to raise or protest against it, because that shouldn't happen in this country. And it is, if it is happening in West Coast, in Combo, I can only imagine that it is happening everywhere. As it happened in Nyani, where our candidate was convinced or more or less influenced to withdraw his candidature. We are talking about the Deputy Speaker of National Assembly of this country. The Deputy Speaker and the Speaker are supposed to be non-partisan. The moment you are appointed at those posts, you are supposed to throw your whatever political hat somewhere far away from any political scene. But that is not what is happening. And they engaged, on that occasion you had, again, a SAFO was involved, and then a governor was involved. So every one of these state or executive or members in authority are actively engaged in politics in favor of the MPP. That is something that which undermines the fairness of our electoral process. Anybody who claims that one can attain a free and a fair, it might be free, but it cannot be classed as fair elections under such a climate, where every executive, every member of the executive is actively engaging in support of the incumbent. That is just not fair at all. And that's what we are saying, and the steps we've taken in the Combo is one. We reported it to the IEC regional returning officer, and then they told us that they were going to take action, and they've asked us to gather evidence, which we did, but they also sent some of their own agents to come and verify the facts. When they came, they confirmed to us that they did their own verifications and were satisfied that meeting which we allege indeed took place, and we also provided them with that evidence. What they're going to do, we don't know. But this, as Al-Mame said, it is their duty. It is under their purview for them to manage and regulate election affairs in this country. And that is one reason why, as Modsar said, we lack the confidence in them to hold a fair election, because we want them to be a lot more proactive than this. They needed to be on the ground. They need to make sure any allegation that is made, they themselves are with the police. That's why we have police commissioner attached to the IEC. IEC is supposed to be leading in this thing. But where is the IEC? That is the question everybody is asking. They are never there. They are always on call. You have to call them to come and do something. They are supposed to be having people on the ground everywhere to make sure their credibility is boosted, because they've lost a lot of ground on that. And I don't think they're doing a good job at regaining that.
Thank you very much. No, I just want to react to your first question. That is, what is UDP doing to stop the voter inducement? If you have been paying attention to all the details and explanations since the beginning of this press conference, number one, we said we want to stop it. That is why we called the press conference today, to expose it to Gambians what is happening. Number two, he said he went to the police and report the matter. We are not going to encourage our supporters to fight, to go into physical confrontation with anybody. We are not going to do that. So this is what we can do. First, we call you people to expose it. We also encourage the civil society organization to expose it. Our election guy said he went to report the matter to the police, I think even to the region IEC office. So this is what we can do. And we also told you people, every Gambian, it's a business of every Gambian, not only UDP. So the question of what is UDP doing should have been, what will Gambian do to stop this? And also we have encouraged our 400 to 500,000 voters around the country to be vigilant, but not to fight. To be vigilant, to see what is happening around their neighborhood, but not to go into physical confrontation with anybody. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
ñaari laajte wala ñetti laaj Almami Tall ak Mr Sarr bu si jiitu mooy ñaani ja seen problème bi tax na tey ngeen woote press conference gannaaw ba nga xam ne démb ñëw nañ gis nañ ne démb yéen waa UDP bind ngeen pétition jox ko AIC ndax tontu nañ leen am déet parce que tey suba am na xibaar yu ñu yëg yi nga xam ne jóge ko nañ ci AIC ndax yéen yëngeen ko wala yëgagu leen ko am déet beneen bi mooy candidat yi nga xamante ne taxawoon nañ ci seen parti ñu bàyyi lan la ñuy xaar ci yéen jamono ji li nga xam ne yéen tam da ngeen leen ko mën a woon pour ëllëg ak si biir beneen bi mooy saa su ne gis nañ UDP dañuy kebetu wala dañuy wax saa yu élection amee te ba tey yéen ngi bokk ci interparti ban mooy njëriñ te bi nga xam ne ni UDP mu ngi ko ba tey.
waaw naa ñu commencé boobu.
waaw. di la gërëm di la sant ci laajte bi nga laajte xew-xew yi yëpp ñëw nañ ci jamono boo xam ne dafa jàmpa te jàmpa bi mu jàmpa nag moo tax ñu ne nañ njëkk a seet naka lañ ko safara laaj tey ni ma la ko mun a waxee rek mooy soo amee ganaar goo xam ne yaa ngi am fox boo xam ne mu ngi ci gannaaw kër gi foog naa ne dangaa njëkk a seet naka ngaa soowee ganaar bi mu nekk ci kër gi nga soog a ñëw nag ci affaire yi fox bi so lii mooy li nga xam ne moo ci nekk moo tax interparti bi ñëwanguñ ci loolu dinañ ci ñëw nag ndik ni nga ko waxee li xew mooy dafa am jamono yoo xam ne dafa am lu taxoon UDP ñu yóbbu seen njiit yëpp kaso jamono boobu métti na torop te loolu lañ doon xeex moom la li ñoo wax ci angale we are still singing the same song that was sang yesterday benn woy bi rek la ñoo woy ba léegi kon boog woy boobu li xew nii bokk na ci interparti bi nag dinañ leen engage waaye suñ demee ba exhaust li nga xam ne ci lañ nekka booba nag dinañ yóbbu affaire gi tëddal ko ci interparti bi we are fortunate enough ne deputy party leader member interparti bi la dégg na sa question bi man tamit I am member dégg naa sa question bi notwithstanding mata bi dina egga ci interparti bi waaye nag nañ njëkk a deal with the situation because xam nga ñu ngee deal with the police suñ jógee police yi dinañ dem IEC be less assured we leave no stone unturned waaw moom laa wax ci issue bii la wax waxul njëriñ ci issue bi man ci issue bi rek laa mun a wax ci affaire interparti bi ci issue bi dama foog ne ci issue bii nga wax not well foog naa ne boobu waaw foofu dinaa jébal suma deputy party leader mu sànni kaddu ci question boobu antiyam
waaw li nga wax dëgg la
antiyam balaa ngaa wax laajtekat bi ñu ngi ko bëgg a woon ne ko ñun UDP du ñoo kebetu dañoo wax mu leer
dëgg la
so ñu ngi ñaan rek pour ñu understandante liñ fi wax bi ñoo commencé waxtaan bi mooy ne soo gisee tey ñu defee press conference bi nii ndaxam mi noonu nañ di génnee ay statement di dem court waaye fekka li xew na ba pare xam nga loolu nag su fekkee ne xew na ci dëkka dangaa gis ne nit ñu bari gisuloo li nga laajte lan mooy njëriñi interparti mun ngaa laajte sax lan mooy njëriñi press conference lii mooy waxtaan yi rek jaama parce que UDP loolu lañ xam ñun li ñoo wax ñu ne na réew mi booloo nekk ak benn ñun ñoo bokkandee ak baay so da waxtu wax moo jot so loolu tax ñu ootee waxtaan bi waaye nag pour leeral balaa deputy party speaker bi di ñëw ñun di ñoo kebetu
jërëjëf Almami Tall li ma wax mooy interparti bi am na njëriñ si réew mi parce que interparti bi parti yi nga xam ne they are all registered with the IEC ñoo sa bokka interparti am na incidence yu bare yoo xam ne dañ ko solve ba nga xam ne jaal def si jaama am na benn at mënuma fàttali ko at bi GDC Musa I stand to be corrected GDC ñu amoon problème ak NPP bi léegi GDC dafa am fu ñu identifier ne dañ faa def rallye léegi police inspecteur général police Diop yal na ko yàlla yërëm wone ne foofa GDC duñ fa am meeting GDC wax ba tey ñu duñ fa am meeting ñu form delegation I led that delegation ñu dem si Mamou Diop waxa moom ne ko comme que NPP dañ fa amoon meeting URR la de NPP dañ fa amoon meeting sa area booba Jimara Bakadaaji léegi NPP am nañ fa meeting police grant leen permit ñu am meeting foofu am parali léegi GDC bu nga dem di same area pour meeting di same police aaye leen ko ñu ne ko lu tax nga def loolu ñu interparti bi dañ bugg a intervene gis ne GDC nañ fa am meeting waaye Mamou Diop woon nu ne foofa NPP duñ fa amati meeting te kenn du fa amati meeting ñu ne haa ñu ne waaw ñu d'accord si loolu te place bente kenn amatu fa meeting bon IPC ñu ngi liggéey incident yi see xew di def dee bare ñu di ko dox te kenn du ko yëg parce que suñ intervenut réew mi dafa tàkka IPC suñ fa demee amuñ parti kola suñ fa demee man nekkuma UDP although UDP lay represent ma Moussa waa keneen nekk fa GDC keneen nekk fa NPP dañoo gis Gambia ñu discuss as Gambian li jaaxal Gambia yëpp in politics ñu sotaal ko te kenn du ko yëg am na yoo xam ne doo ko def ba pare dem si media bi di ko yëgle amul njëriñ waaye IPC ñu ngi liggéey li ñu war a liggéey te duñ taay duñ xaadi am na yu sew yoo xam ne dee leen ko yëg parce que comité boo xam ne ay kilifa fa nekk parti yi doyloo leen taaj leen fa duñ dem lu tuuti luñ def régler ko dem si media bi amul njëriñ waaye tooguñ si benn problème yi parti su fekkee ne am na benn incident sax weeru koor wi nekk ni di élection foog naa last national assembly election fii laa ñëw moo wax ci daabo ñu kool Halifa Sallah ñu wax affaire weeru koor wi ak amul ñaasi waaye dañu won ne loi bi dafa mayee ne période bi si lañ war a am élection weeru koor wi ñu wax ni ñu ñoo ko njëkk a daaxalu waaye nag loi bee taxaw mënuñ koo daaxa IPC li ñoo liggéey bari na si gàttal rek te yéen soo leen déggee dara loo xam ne rong na challenge ko tuuti IEC ngeen xam naka la ñoo doxalee jërë leen jëf comme da tontu naa sa
question foofu sax dama fa déggu doon bu baax li Mr Tall wax léegi nii kebetu bi UDP du ñoo kebetu de loolu mun naa la ko asoo tey réew mi fi mu toll nii gannaaw yàlla tey United Democratic Party la te kebetu wuñ dañ wone suñ doole dëgga suñ xam-xam suñ mun-mun suñ pas-pas ak suñ ngor moo indi réew mi fi mu nekk nii tey ci liñ ne nii tey dama la assoone affaire yi jënda karta bii nii ak affaire yi ñaani jabi duñ ko jël very lightly at the level of the United Democratic Party laa la wax nag duñ ko jël very lightly because dafa very hard ni mu xewee ak niñ ko defee soo dégloo kii lim read liñ mënut a understand mooy candidate bi rejectuñ ko if the candidate was rejected te timeline bi exhaust nañ ko booba mënuñoo am benn replacement candidate bi dañ ko nominate already by a political party under the banner of the political party mu dem up to the 11th hour foog naa ne 2 hours before time frame be exhaust mu withdraw automatically section 51 is categorically clear amut benn fen boo ko ci benn law house boo ko yóbbu ñu daaneel ko déedéet amut dañ def lu leen neex te lii moo fi daan xew démba barka démba te lii moo tax ñu ne Adama Barrow dafa war a déglu nit ñi te ci kaw lii lañ jëlee Adama Barrow indi ko fi mu nekk nii tey kon boog man li ma laa wax UDP musu ñoo kebetu te duñ musa kebetu jërëjëf.
waaw pour tontu rek sa laajte bu njëkk bi ñi nga xam ne withdraw nañ wax dëgg yàlla du ma ne yaakaar bu tas la waaye betta nañ ñu ndax bi ñoo ut place bi dañ ñu wonoon ne ñoom nit ñu déggu lañ nit ñu am ngor lañ nit ñu am jom lañ te du ñoom kenn rek ñoo apply ñun suñ kansilo yëpp yàlla def na ñu bari bëggoon nañoo nekk candidate yi UDP te dañ amoon ay mandarga yuñ xàmmee woon ci candidate si Yankuba Dabo lawyer Yankuba Dabo mi nga gis nii ñoom seen chairmanship bi bokk na ci chairmanship bi nga xam ne dafa mel ni Gambie yëpp a ko bëggoon am na ñu jógee bitim réew am na ñoo xam ne bàyyi nañ seen liggéey ñu bari bëggoon nañoo nekk bindu pour nekk suñ candidate waaye criteria biñ def ba pare ñu def suñ élection ñun suñ biir selection committee bi moo tax candidate buñ tànna dañ dee am yaakaar ci yow bu baax a baax parce que parti bi ci boppam dafa am démocratie ci biir parti bi parti leader bi dafa toog député parti leader bi dafa toog suba ba ngoon di seet seen kayit yi di seet seen mun-mun seen xam-xam ak seen jaar-jaar waaye ñooñu su fekkee ne nag tey withdraw nañ wax dëgg yàlla jarut sax pour ñu toog ne dañoo waxtaan ak ñoom wala dañoo baamtuwaat yéene yi ndax élection dina ñëwaat te ñun suñ li ñoo wax rek maamun lii maamun laa defal ñu gis ñun ñu ngee def foog nañ ne Gambien si léegi gom nañ ñu gis nañ suñ mayors yi Banjul ak Kanifing nit ñoo xam ne bokkuñu ñun parti ñu ngi jóg di ñaxtu di express solidarité di bokk ci jongante bi gis nañ ko ci ku mel ni Nene Frida Gomez ñëw na mu ngi taxawu mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda MC Cham gis nañ honorable Touma Ndiaye mu ngi taxawu Rohi Malick Lo ak Kansulo Sami ci Banjul so ñun li ñoo wax mooy ne politics bi fi UDP di def ak niñ dee tànnee suñ député ni ñoo tànnee suñ councilors yi ni ñoo tànnee suñ chairman yi yëpp dafa jaar ak yoon suñ constitution bi def ñu jox yoon yoo xam ne kuñ tànna rek xamal ne kooku mut na tànneef soo demee nag ba nga gis leneen nga ne da ngaa génn ci loolu ci jàmm ak salaam dañ laa bàyyi nga dem rek amut wax nii amut wax na le foog naa démocratie moo mel noonu suñ président mu njëkk bi loolu la wax mu ne soo defut dara du la dal si démocratie ni man kuukee kuutee la loolu la Sadaaw da jàngale foog naa Modou Sarr ak député parti leader bi tontu nañ yeneen laajte yi waaw pétition biñ binda ñun liñ si jàng mooy ne ay si dañ wax ne lifin bi candidate bi is going unopposed wone na ne ñun pétition biñ binda seetuñ ko wéeruwuñ ci loi defuñ liñ war a def am na ko fi laaj mu ne ndax am nañ confidence ci IEC am nga doxalin yi soo ko defee foog rek nit ñi laajte te confidence nag moom yow da nga ko war a eloo du noo xam ne da ngaa xëy suba rek ne waaw nit ñi am nañ confidence ci man sa liggéey moo ko wone joxuñ ñu benn official reply tontu wuñu ci benn boor waaye ñoom def nañ seen announcement ci wàlla boobu waaw ñun li ñoo def yooyu yëpp lu ñoo waxtaan la balaañ koo def executive bi dinañ war a toog waxtaan ñu seet yoon yi nga xam ne moom lañ am jël yoon yooyu noonu lu ñoo def rek dañ ko teg ci yoon dañ ko teg ci loi waaw loolu la ay siwa loolu la ay siwa yes sir.
I have been listening to the deliberations made by the executive members, and it is quite, it is hard see that the issues of voter buying and inducement are really, raising their ugly heads in our electoral processes, and it should really be a concern to all of us. Because the dangers associated with it, some of them are one, it jeopardizes and undermines our electoral process and our democratic process, and also it goes to deprive a competent person from, assuming a critical position in serving the best interest of the citizenry. So having said that, what strategy or plan is in place at the level of UDP to ensure that you, in collaboration with other actors in the politics of this country, to ensure that the issue of inducement is put to rest, because it is really alarming and it requires concerted effort to make sure that it is put to an end. Thank you.
Elections are a process. Like you said earlier, the management of elections and the regulation of elections is the mandate. It's a constitutional mandate of the IEC. I think Honorable Yankuba Dabo has said it earlier. The important thing is for the IEC to live up to its true mandate by being involved, by engaging communities. I think Honorable Sanyang also made that mention that civil society, particularly, and the media, and the ordinary citizen must wake up to their responsibility in safeguarding our democratic gains. We cannot build a democratic republic in the absence of the laws that govern all of us. If anybody is found infringing or violating the basic laws of this land, it's the responsibility of every citizen, regardless of party affiliation, to stand up to that person. But I said earlier that the IEC, the IGP, these are the principal actors to ensure that there is peace. Now, what UDP is doing is like this engagement, like similar engagements that Honorable Tumanjai has undertaken, like the complaint that Mozart has made. We want the media to amplify these voices. Absolutely. And to take this evidence to town. But the conduct of the IEC over the years has been very lackadaisical. You go there, I remember during the presidential election, we had a team led by the deputy party leader. We went there to produce and share evidence with the deputy chairman of the IEC. So at the end of the day, I think you in the media must take to task all our institutions, all our political parties, all our political leaders. I heard somebody talking about the inter-party. I think the inter-party should be strengthened beyond what it is now. It should be put on a national footing, and I will urge my brother, the member of the National Assembly for Latrikunda, to introduce a private member's bill in Parliament to strengthen the inter-party as a statutory corporation or a statutory body, because these are important institutions to ensure our democracy is functioning effectively. Because without that, all of the efforts are going to be on a volunteer basis, and we are also going to be at the mercy of our international community. But for local government elections, where are the citizens? In every locality you go to, people have issues. They have challenges, and it is only our local leaders, from the National Assembly member to the councillor. These are the people who can actually solve problems. And we have demonstrated over the last 5 years how capable our leaders are, both in the National Assembly as well as in local government. So what we are doing is constantly looking at the state of affairs and reflecting on all the issues that can make this country more united, make this country more prosperous. Kamaraba Ko.
Assalamu alaikum. United Democratic Party la executive full. Ma choose la pour kadiam ni in karo kening local language la. Bayndara jube Gambia milialo ngo bita bero fayla jama bije milialo ngo wolle mankara. Ari kibaro nyande la fuke ma e Sénégal. Janni journaliste bita a fram francingla. Arni ba fala atelier wili nyamin ka fo nyamin man na fundi nyoya e Sénégal. Avec kuma ala bakele pour the would be chairman pour ay muruna o loi ni fulolu ye munefo kangola. Même si Sénégal sign afin on est on ayo we repeat in a local language me la flora foni manke UDP ki jafarati waran jiklateti pour que ibulo jindi démocratie la way dal ko policiol al ko AIC alay simfanyal min beta ani min beni ni kake abeka la loi le kan me alon kal kallo pour que kelol ke kata court stop par han sign al man fenje me wilita pour ka wo kangolu ñil fasa wato lum kal bondi politiko kono bang fodo ñaari anin fanan élection o ferenta bekela senindi ñing alla mo leen ci barol dolu moy sungaro kono do ñanda tala kiyang ako ntida ka di ben suñala mu ne message bal bulu pour ka folie ko wakilindi ye findi sembola pour ka bero fay
janimbe jabiro kela wala janimbe diamodi la honorable
his back is down and he was reading from the phone.
Ber loya balem de yalon dawo kunangol be mu loya baleti ke kumo jabi drong démocratie ntolte sila fonga foko saim batata démocratie la kotole parce que ka fontoli le United Democratic Party kan killing ku killing birin kunu wala bentol bulu akumaya drong pour ka foko bundalu minu yeleta mansa kundala karola wala luwaye bundalu minu yele gambianol ye faham gambianol fana yeta yele jiko landi wol kan parce que ni UDP ya fo GDC ya fo NRP ya fo PDOIS ya fo isa fo no ko politikolem bari ning kamaraba ya fo wala muskeba mimbe marse oto aya fo mamira iba fono la ko nyimu politique diamolti ntolbe sulari minna na démocratie pour ayta nyato wole mu luwaye dulalu minu be londi nin tata je njikita minna je sa taraje luwale nyunu IEC londi wole IGP londi wole environment londi wole dulal be londi wo luwa kilingo ka bonan na constitution oto wole atina ka fo Gambia mu democratic republic leti democracy dum diamole ka sia bari ka fo nyame manika kaunto mining tafal to nyale be labanna UDP meta nyin kelolale ay sanji monin lulu kelole ke anata yaay jeme bondi jang molu minu fanambe pati dolto jama yela patio yela politiko karan UDP le asike karandirole man Sénéanum wala karandirole man futa nyanta futa la dame bari ntolka mimfo wati o wati wole mu nanga luwal bunya nanga kata luwal minu be larim banko kan yeke luwa sahayari ngolti yeke luwa betolti parce que ni luwa beto soto abunya buka kolea aka tonyale sabanindi aka nyato tale fanan nafi banko kan na fundinke nyato kolu wole muy ka fo miye the next generation of leaders kabo banjun kata fo base nga jele ila nyaton kaya ya place o fale natake alfalti ibe dokole jamae suto nintilo na bota woto tata député bungoto lungo lung sanji kilin yewole keje ya nyolo anin honorable baji nyolo sanji kilin yewole ke député yala so démocratie manji kilate soto jede andung mamira Usain Dabo be baluring Amadou Sane be baluring Alhaji Modou Sane be baluring Ajiyam Seka be baluring ntolla kelo a jawarol bebe si ibe balurin ne andung ibe yamari kanne pour nga démocratie bambandi nga démocratie lamoy na ñi ñaton ko lu minube AIC minube policiala wol be laftale drong ye hakilo murundi koma ko sanji woro wula komanto sama solo sande wole mala lun labanti dunia kono sanji woro wula komanto wolun neng solo sama na dimbaya labanta kaje so nimbe politiko fola nimbe demokrasi fola Gambia ntolunga furewol le soto mol le fata pour demokrasi e balu ay balu kuke Gambia so ñimmanke kuti mi yalonko bi kulem wala lunkilin kulen ntolbe demokrasi le bi mbe demokrasi le sama andum ba ke kanne luwa koto barinka min fo wati wo luwal nyanta nge kutayandi wo luwal nyanta nge sahayandi ninga oke iba jelale mo be ibe fanjela nanyin demokrasi to kuma kensengol minu be ka fo iba jelale ko nafatela politiko pour banku doku olem andun si banko doku no len tol be parce que doku mimbe banko kan asiatale aman jari mbe kumol fola min ya lonka aman ke toñati mbe banko la molla na flotala mba murundile kanka afoy ko ha nale karto fayñe mbe ñinni ñine kela banko la ñatota aka bo molla namole bala molle ka namo jo wo nenero mol ñanta yow bula moman ente faman ko di soto mbe min bondila na poso kono ka di mola andu mo faman kodo soto aman ko di tu dunia mi ya lonka si banko la hajo jarano so min kumayata wolemu nga demokrasi muta nga bambandi nga nyonoma sakonna alfal min ya lonko e doko ke e fata nyim banko kan pour demokrasi e balu ko tenke UDP ala na kana fo bi lungolung yamaro min ka fo ngam nyomuta kilimbaya kilingo nganna banko samba nyato nga tonya fo nyoye Usen Dabo yole fo nyin luntambila dron ye fengo femfo ayeke tonyati a koleata nyaaw nya ibe tonya min sama ibe tonya min fasa kan ibe lori wodron neka wo kumata bake ni local government election kumari mbalem andumbe jikirinne ko nga minube londi jamabe kono alabe tambindilale parce que mol fanan ya jele ko banko neatare ya di dokulala o banko kata nyatole bari nim banko beta abe kalabantewol bulu e ibina jela mantoro ka sia fengol dabe kolearing tamo be kolearing ngamoy drong kibarol to ko nafondinkewol ye muta moroko iba try kan num pour kata nyim bakuela so ñinu be mu kulati mi ya lonko election o drone ne sa jarano wo election o nak faye démocratique nimman fansembe démocratie la e banko la ñaato tabe kole ala bake Camara Ba.
I want to add something onto your last question.
Two more questions, huh?
What?
And the last one.
Yo, assalamu alaikum, Camara Ba, Baraka, thank you very much for that question. Ning hakil to yen karo ko gambe mu strategy gambe mol bita carte file nyame. Wo strategy we on already more mobilization from the world level kamotol ke bondi kata carte fayola sensitization from the keringa from ma la moy follow but nga party leader for a very good worded statement and strong for that matter can the party militants should be encouraged kata voting here also media press for because election kumaya mbe all for la mole ya election kumaya lo especially local government elections nga incompetence at the executive level, central government. So therefore we cannot allow the same incompetence to drag down to local government administration. That's going to be a disaster for Gambia. So that is why I'm very messaging for the mole alanga finding a catre fay anu me inkijo for the catre for la benda sunkaro kono sunkaro la last day 10 days so men fala ko mulkara nafilola mulka sino dati around 7-8 le ni botra jamonto so obe difficult damana but fonso nyo encourage ngata nyola bunda kongo mbenga findi ngata carte fay NPP is surviving on politics of insult, politics of misinformation, and politics of tribalism. So, when a Gambian hakil du bake, these are the three, categories. Me and NPP survive. And exactly. be mol kamfande kan yoga be sir kamfande kan yoga so omu Gambian will be responsible the camera TV media and other media houses to expose these dirty politics of NPP. Thank you very much.
Yes. Sorry. Your name? I just baraka bake wo ñinen karola camera ba comme yemin fo comme ñantale nga min fo non tubab kangola about ko min gedanna kansulo candidate o nga min tanum kaben candidate o min be non jeno akaye foñole ama bare kallo kotanci andum UDP le atombandum so loi min fo woto bankola loi on loi a kunya tan lulu nin kilingo do kunya ringo nani nyawoto ay min faje wala nyindi ko patio ning amu patio de jim banko kan ay mo londi pour ay lo ay kay candidate do election do fa nominate ni wo candidate do nata withdraw patio la nyanto le kabulum men na wo mari withdraw ta kata fo til woro wala patio la nyanto le pour ni modo so do min se min londi no anoto yo mari fene ya londi amunta wol loi comme nga asidla tan lulu nin kilingo sidla rengo tan nano to nga damin foje woy wala sata ko pati wala nyanto lem pour ka woko so ibaje la kabirin nga candidate do min londe nyaani jaaw kabirin akaye foñole ñing because ñin loi sembo di ay nyanto di na pati wala pour ka mo londe lumenate e foño kata fo tir woro wala hapoto kamodo londa noto ngawle ta ngaw sembo nying wo nyanto nying ngawle ta nga exercise data ka modo register memu musa chamti pour we se noto kabirum fata IEC itol ko wote kenola itol relaita min kan wala mu section 52 de loi sidula tang lulu dim fula nyawto barin kam min fo jam wala nyindiko woy min fo ani tol fon be min ke kan wol fata bat bayri woko woy min sata wala nyinte ko returning officer wala mu IEC la kundon ko min be tundol do akoning nominational be banda na tara carte fayo ning kabo lumen nominational banda kata carte fayo tema til woro wala nyontuta je warang tilo mintu daje tilol lemu inyanta tili dandan nemu inyanta katalale tili folo ye min sotono ya kata candidate lo ye minu be to soto yol be to kankula banko be amoy wolu wani tol ko yen dolla candidate do bali wolu wani na karolo bari yalu nini hakilma yo ko nyin ya keskes ibalu na ko ñunu fo male ka min fo saf bayri dolla candidate do tata loi sembo min din na wala ñand ko ni nga candidate do witrota nga til woro wala sotole pour ka o jose ka ñomo do se ni wono sa ndol data nga wala ke ete ka fontol yo ko nte nga lo balile bayri loi ko nte ñanta publication o kala ñanta won mol taw kan kula la le nin tiri woro wala bi janding election o tema warang tili dandam bi ko bending election o tema nte ñanta wol to kan kula la sa wo ñum flol wala ñoo soto ñoo ñaadir because kankularo le bete kan woto andum kankularo luway min fa hantil kilina be ning election o tema sa kan inyanta kankularo kala so bari ka kankularo ke dami wala nim mol naate nomination o ke so nin nomination o botala dore kankularo ke so wala mu itol ko wo kankularo nying wala itol balikan to la candidate o nying la nomination o nying accept so yalo wo mo yo jibe balonal ko woning hakilo manta sondomo buka wotano sondomo tawtano la so wala mu kote mi yalon ko mbenu wala fo kan tubab kan la je wala keta nyani ja min keta nyani jala kote so comme ya fa nyamin apilo be ayisile man fe moy nam folo ban kam min moy wala mi ko nyani jala siraw nying wo be dala ono pose le wala mu momantara nyo sabaka woto baran jikata wote kala ko nyel labawti bayre comme nga fa nyamin amu kule te mi yalon ko ani loi manta lafta kumanden kafla e nyen ngaro do min fananke about UDP la voter sol ko be min fala wala min ko 2016 mo jama e UDP yen tentu janne yen kontong because niya je okay ya jele ko man give up kabri 1996 UDP ye lo dati nyim banko kan andu mi ye lo UDP la londiro fena wala nyintu ko démocratie mantara nun jang minu nata patiol minu beje ko ye bande so inata foko UDP nata lo wolla ka wata jo bay anda be wata bay la ka make so nyim banko la nyanto ye murun na nyim banko kan andum ak koleyata kol koleyata mallabe koleyala fay tammi wo wato la bar koleya kata jambar wo man UDP balit tala andun na mul nana man give up ka carte fay nun jigita nyimmin bebe kerin diamo lan doro bar hani bi hani kunum ndol be meeting wala birikama fu 12 o'clock talantang anim fula mol be bendulato andi tata dawda nalne moto be tambila dawda mol ka fendinane molu be kamin fo wolum nyindi go mba faylale sibito andum mba fayla UDP le nga make sure ya gagner ni aje mol be wokela wolum nyindi ko mol still have hope in UDP what damaya tinale gambianul nenete give up la on the democracy because neither UDP give up to nun democracy la nun tenum bi kinna betarajam monaki le betarajam ma fala modo le dingo mun naman sati bi atakala modo de modo dingo be kala man sati nte tarra nyo sabal president yanin ko ba neeje president min fo bi je bi wo ketano president ala ni UDP ko le tata no may kay na yelo na anti bijang wolle tata ya bulo muta e kay ko na fay selo folo balantale bari nga encourage le falota bi wole mbonne mbefe ngodo ndum UDP nenata muruna ko ma démocratie la banko kan hanni tata yale ko 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 hanni e UN sojarol be fena ye dunia sojarol be fena we will continue to push for strengthening of Gambia's democracy annum won nenata muruna ko ma wolo because na nyantolem wala mun na banko la nyaatu tati nyim banko la nyaatu ta and it cannot go without democracy so iba ko bele kataka ye millionol dundi jele coming anti yam yemem fo 300 each candidate ka millionol dundi ka billionol dundi ye ko bele ka UDP kol bay ka ko beke barama murun ko ma we are still pursuing andum be continue la wala le because min kedanga jiko min soto wala nyindi ko to nyaala be labanna andu wo tonya wala mu democracy telin no be sabata la jang anno be bula UDP le bulu inshallah so mbo message o thank you la je
ladies and gentlemen of the media, I think we have gone really very far and wrap up. Thank you very much. Yes.
I am from the Workers newspaper, 𝒂𝒂𝒃𝒆 TV. Okay, I'm rolling back to 2021 during the presidential elections. Just after the presidential elections, the UDP claimed that the elections was rigged, and it was engineered in favor of the NPP. So after that, it was widely said by the UDP that the election didn't go as expected because the IEC weren't fair at all. So coming into these elections, just as you said, that you're kind of losing confidence in the IEC because of the way things are going, and about this candidate you're talking about. What if the election is rigged? This coming election is rigged. What would be your stand?
We don't do hypotheticals at the UDP. Just like we told the guy, we do not capable. What we are saying all the time is to insist that the institutions that are established to ensure fair play, the IEC is #1 in regulating elections and managing them. The IGP is the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the Gambia. We want all our complaints, all our petitions, finally, if there is sufficient evidence, to take it to court. And we want, when we make these petitions after elections, for the court to also look into them for the sake of justice. That is the way, and that's the only way we can go on in a democratic republic. So really, sometimes these questions, they come loaded, expecting that we will do things differently. We have been consistent, as our party leader has said. What we have been saying, we mean it seriously, and in action and in deeds, we are going to be very clear to everybody. But now we also challenge Gambians. We challenge our rivals in all the other political parties to ensure that once and for all, we have proper electoral reforms in the Gambia in the memory of Solo Sandeng, who would be martyred 7 years tomorrow. It was on 14th of April 2016 that Solo last saw his family. It was 14th April 2016 that we last heard the cry for constitutional and electoral reforms. But both the media and the majority of Gambians seem to have forgotten about that ultimate sacrifice, that ultimate price. Yes, at the beginning of the year, we gave him a fitting state funeral. But the eulogy of the party leader at that occasion was that the ideals which made Solo give his life and the quest for which he was fighting for still continues. So we are asking all Gambians, particularly the media, to take this message to our compatriots that it is time to do substantial change in our laws so that they are not only free and fair, so that elections are not only free and fair, but they are, at the bottom of it, very democratic. Yes.
Thank you. And with regards to your candidates, who you choose just not long ago, the case has been taken to you preparing the case for the courts. After the 2021 elections, you made a petition to the elections, counting out the elections, but the petition didn't go through because it was thrown in the trash. What if this petition is being thrown in the trash? What would be your next step?
No, this is what I was trying to say from the very beginning. We are not doing hypotheticals in the UDP. We act based on the evidence. We are also urging all the institutions involved in the governance of the country to do their job, because they have been given the mandate to deliver justice in elections, to make sure that malpractices and electoral fraud is investigated. This is all we are asking for, because after the fact, it's always easy to get into hypotheses and say, oh, this is what we should have done, this is how we should have done it. Let all the institutions of governance fulfill their obligations and fulfill their mandate. This is what we are asking our leaders, our media, our civil society organization to amplify. Let us make the Gambia a champion for democracy and human rights and the rule of law once again, as it was during the dark days in Africa. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I now hand over to the admin secretary to just round up.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for being here and for being patient with us. It's been a long day, and hope to see you again, and urging all Gambians to go out on Saturday and vote.